My journey started here in London. One train, one ticket, and around 4.5 hours heading north, and somewhere out there you leave one country and enter another. This is the part that surprised me the most. The train doesn't slow down, nobody checks a passport, no police, even the border lines are invisible. But it's real. You leave England, you enter Scotland, you are in a different country, a different flag, different money, and it has its own parliament. Then, slowly, the train begins to slow down. Old stone buildings appear outside the window. We had arrived in Scotland.
Welcome to Scotland.
Edinburgh does not feel like an ordinary city. The streets are narrow and made of stone. The buildings are tall, dark, and 100 years old. Every corner looks like it belongs in a storybook. That is the reason people call it the most beautiful city in Britain. But we were not just here for the castle or the old streets. We are here for a story that starts in a small cafe. In the 1990s, a woman moved to Edinburgh with almost no money. She was going through the hardest time of her life, newly divorced, raising a baby daughter on her own. To save money, she spent her days writing in local cafes, one coffee, and hours at the same table just to stay warm with her daughter. And the story she was writing? A boy who discovers he's a wizard. Nobody paid any attention to her. Nobody knew they were sitting beside the best selling book series in history. That woman was J.K. Rowling. And this cafe, the Elephant House, is one of the places where she wrote it. And right now, I'm sitting inside that cafe. Anyway, guys, we finally found a table after queuing for an hour. I'm gonna try and get that table Rowling actually wrote at. We just have to wait until our turn comes. For years, this place was known as the birthplace of Harry Potter. Rowling used to sit right here, at this table, looking out of this window, at Edinburgh Castle, writing for hours. That same view is still here today, and this is where one of the biggest stories ever written began. Today, that story has sold over 600 million copies around the world. It's been translated into more than 85 languages. But the books were only the beginning. The story became 8 movies that made over $7 billion at the box office. It became theme parks in America, in Japan, and in China, and it became video games. Also, it turned a group of unknown child actors into some of the most famous faces in the world. And the woman who wrote it? She went from living on government support to becoming the first novelist the world ever called a billionaire. Right behind the cafe, there's an old graveyard called the Greyfriars Kirkyard. Walk between the crooked gravestones, and you'll notice something strange. Some of the names on these stones look familiar. There's a grave here for a man named Thomas Riddle. He died in 1806, and his name is almost exactly the same as one of the most famous villains in the world. Tom Riddle, also known as Lord Voldemort. Just nearby, another old stone, the name on it, McGonagall. Many people believe Rowling walked through this graveyard while she lived in Edinburgh. But the most famous grave in this graveyard doesn't belong to a person. It belongs to a dog. His name was Bobby. In the 1850s, he belonged to a Knightwood Irishman named John Gray. Every night the two of them walked the street of Edinburgh together. Then one day Gray died. He was buried here. The next morning people found Bobby lying on top of the fresh grave. They tried to send him away. He came back again and again. For 14 years Bobby stayed close to that grave. The whole city knew him. Bobby died in 1872. He was buried just a few steps from his owner. Today there's a statue of him near the graveyard gate. So many people have touched his nose for good luck. For over 150 years, this city has kept the story alive. Walk down the Royal Mile, the street that runs from the castle at the top of the hill down to the palace at the bottom. Bagpipes, you'll hear it before you see it. The sound fills the air, bouncing off the old stone walls, loud, powerful, and a little bit haunting. Street musicians play here every day, some in kilts on an instrument that goes back hundreds of years. And for a few minutes, we just stood there and listened. This isn't just a show for tourists. This music is part of Scotland's identity. It has lived through wars, through hundreds of years of history, and it's still here. Take a step back and think about what's happened in Edinburgh, a cafe where an unknown writer wrote history's best selling book series, a graveyard where the names on old stones may have shaped some of the most famous characters in fiction, and a small dog whose story this city has refused to let go of for over 150 years. Three stories, one city, all within a 2-minute walk of each other. That's the real magic of Edinburgh. It's not just the castle or the old streets. It's the stories hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to notice them. So if you ever come here, slow down. Walk a little slower than you normally would. You never know which street is hiding the next great story. Edinburgh will always have a piece of my heart, and I know I'll return to it one day.